Hello friends, once again I welcome you all on my YouTube channel RK's English Academy on English Literature, English Language Teaching and Education. I am here with a new topic on English Literature. It is a part 1 of major literary terms. So let's move on. First one, affective fallacy. It is very important term, friends. It means the error of evaluating a poem by its emotional effects upon the reader. W.K. Wimsatt and Munro C. Beardsley defined this term in the essay named The Affective Fallacy, published in 1946. The second term is intentional fallacy. It means to describe the problem inherent in trying to judge a work of art by assuming the intent or purpose of an artist who created it. Once again, W.K. Wimsatt and Munro C. Beardsley proposed this term in the essay named The Intentional Fallacy in 1946. The third one, pathetic fallacy. This term was coined by John Ruskin in 1856. It is a literary device that attributes human qualities and emotions to inanimate objects of nature. Fourth one, ambiguity. Ambiguity means a fault in style of writing, a word, phrase, or statement that contains more than one meaning. William Empson, a famous writer, published the 7 Types of Ambiguity, a book in 1930. The fifth one, dramatic monologue. Dramatic monologue, friends, it means a long speech by a single character in a play for expressing his or her private thoughts, also called soliloquy or self-conversation. The next one is epithalamion. It is a poem written to celebrate a marriage. Sir Philip Sidney used this term for the first time. Edmund Spenser's great lyric titled with the same name, Epithalamion, is written by him as a celebration of his own marriage that he composed for his wife. Next one is epithet. Epithet is a term. It is an adjective or a phrase used to express characteristics of any person. In literature, this term is an element of poetic diction that distinguishes the language of poetry from ordinary language. The next is euphony. Euphony, this term is applied to a language which strikes the ear, our ear, as smooth, pleasant and musical. One loves to listen such language used in literary work. On the contrary, another word, cacophony. Cacophony means a language which is harsh, rough and unmusical. It is also called dissonance and the opposite of euphony. Another word is malapropism. It means using a word mistakenly in place of another word, which sometimes creates comic scene in a play. This term is derived from the character of Mrs. Malaprop in R.B. Sheridan's comedy, The Rivals, published in 1775. The next one is mask. What is mask? It is a form of court entertainment developed in the reigns of Elizabeth I, James I, and Charles I. It combines poetic drama, music, song, dance, and splendid costuming. Ben Jonson was the great master of this form, and he also developed the form of anti-mask, which means a comic or grotesque dance. It was presented before or between the acts of a mask. Another one is negative capability. Negative capability was introduced by John Keats to define the literary quality of Shakespeare. It means a man capable of being in uncertainties, mysteries, doubts, without any irritable reaching after fact and reason. Another one is objective correlative. Objective correlative was coined by the American poet and painter Washington Allston and afterwards introduced by T.S. Eliot in his essay Hamlet and His Problems, published in 1919. Problem play. What is problem play? This term was coined by F.S. Boas. This is a type of drama popularized by Henrik Ibsen, in which the situation faced by the protagonist is put forward by the author as a representative instance of a contemporary social problem. The last one, touchstone. What is touchstone? This term was introduced by Matthew Arnold in his The Study of Poetry, published in 1880, where he gives Hamlet's dying words to Horatio as an example of touchstone. It means short but distinctive passages selected from the writings of great poets. So friends, we have learned about the major literary terms used in literature. This was only part 1. I will share another video very soon on other important literary terms. All the best for your preparation, and that's all for today, friends. On this channel, I will be sharing more videos on English literature on various topics. Thank you and Jai Hind.